Hello and welcome back to another slightly different Final Fantasy X episode. In the last couple of episodes what we did is collected all of the hidden or missing Aeons from the game, and in the other episode what we did is collected everybody's celestial weapons. Now in this one what we're going to be doing is collecting all of the missing sigils, which is obviously going to require us to complete all of the really annoying mini games in this game. That includes the lightning bolt dodges, the chocobo races, and obviously the blitzball, the butterfly hunt, and stuff like that. So, to start off with, if I bring up my menu here, what we're going to be doing is starting with Yunas, because as you can see here, we have both the moon crest and the moon sigil. You should have most of the crests by now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remind you where to collect all of the crests at the same time as showing you how to get all the sigils, just to make it a bit easier to follow. To get the moon crest, you can get it as soon as you land in Besaid at the very start of the game, which is why I started in here in Besaid, just to remind you. So if I back out here, you come this way. As you can remember, when you first land in Besaid, Walker hits you in the head with a blitzball, and you have to swim to the beach. But before you swim to the beach, if you just come over here to the left or the right, depending on which way you're facing, and then just in this little offshoot here, there's a chest, and in this chest will be the moon crest. Okay, now you can come back and get it, as I've just showed you with the airship, because you land on the beach, so you don't have to worry about any dark Aeons being in your way for that. But yeah, that is how you get the moon crest. Now, for the moon sigil, if you watched my hidden Aeons playthrough, then to get the moon sigil, what you have to do is collect all of the hidden Aeons, and then make your way to Remium Temple, where you will do an Aeon battle with Balgamine. You have to battle through all of the Aeons, and then once you finally beat her Mega Sisters, she tells you she can't train you anymore because you've already surpassed her and surpassed your father. And you get the option of whether or not you want to send her. If you don't send her, you can carry on battling her Aeons for like reduced rewards. But if you do send her, that kind of ends her little segment of the story. And as a reward for doing that, you will get the moon sigil, and that's everything you need then to power up Yuna's celestial weapon to maximum, basically. So you'll have the moon crest and the moon sigil. So now that is both of Yuna's out the way, next I'm going to work on Oran's. So let's hop back to the airship. So Oran's is the Mars crest and the Mars sigil. Now you can actually grab the Mars crest during the story part of the game, after you've played the blitzball game at Luca and you made your way down Mushroom Rock Road to this part where I am now. You will see them dragging away a sin spawn in a cage. Now I've rented a chocobo here just so I can show you where you can pick it up to make it a bit quicker. Once you get to this point and you see them drag off the sin spawn in a cage, make your way down the bottom part of the road. All the way down to the bottom here. It's a long walk with a lot of random encounters in there, which is why I've jumped on the chocobo to make it a lot quicker. And then when you get down here, you will find a chest. And right here in this chest, you will find the Mars crest. There is an important thing to note here. I do know somebody who has the international version of this game. I'm playing on the UK version, I guess. I don't really know. But he has the international version of the game, and inside this box is the Saturn crest instead. So I'm not sure how that works for the international thing. There's a slight difference between the two. But for me, here is where you get the Mars crest. Now the Mars sigil is slightly different, so I'm going to make my way to the Calm Lands a bit quick. Here we are in the Calm Lands at the battle arena. To get the Mars sigil, what you have to do is capture enough monsters to create 9 different monsters for this guy behind us. So, as you're probably aware by now, you need to buy some capture weapons off him, and then capture monsters from all the different areas in the game. If I chat to him real quick, fight monsters. So as you look at the bottom here, you've got Species Conquest, Original, and Area Conquest. These top ones are all the different areas in the game. So for Area Conquest, as you probably well guessed, that refers to all the different areas in the game. So if you capture all the monsters from Besaid, for example, at the top here, you'll create a monster like that. If you capture all the monsters in Kilika, you'll create another monster, Mushroom Rock Road, and so on and so forth. And then you click on area, and then up here you have all the different monsters. And the same with species, so as you wander through different areas of the game, you'll notice that you'll have a wasp from, for example, in one color from, say, Kilika, and then when you get to Macalania, there'll be a wasp there that's a different color. The same with wolves and flans and all that sort of thing. If you capture a few of each one of those, you'll create a special species one. So, for example, you've got all of these, like this. The one-eyes, for example, the flans, the hornets, which is the wasps I was talking about, Fenrir, which is the wolves, and so on and so forth. So as you'd imagine, like that. And then you have the original ones, which are like sort of special ones. To create the original monsters, all you really have to do is capture enough of the Area Conquest and the Species Conquest while you're out and about capturing monsters, and he will just create the original monsters himself off his own back as sort of like a bonus for helping him out. So the easiest way of actually completing this and getting the sigil is to start off by going to all of the different like areas in the game and capturing all of the monsters there. You only really need one of each monster while you're there in order to create the Area Conquest, but in order to do the Species Conquest, you'll need like a certain amount of each monster in order to create it. So for instance, you'll need like, say, 5 of each flan in all the areas where the flans appear. So the best thing to do is to collect 10 of everything while you're there. I know that's slightly easier said than done in some areas, for instance like Stolen Faith Cavern, where tonberries are extremely rare to come across, so it may take a little bit of time, but for the most part you can create enough monsters just by capturing 10 of each in the area. And then once you've done enough to create 9 or 10 monsters, come back to the guy, speak to him, get your rewards, and eventually he will give you the sigil for creating 9 or 10 monsters. Once you've got the sigil off him, that will be Oren's done and dusted, and then we can move on to the next person in the game. And I think for the next one, what I'm going to do is work on Tidus's. So back to the airship. Tidus's is the Sun Crest and the Sun Sigil. As with most of the other crests, you can grab the Sun Crest while working your way through the main story. You can see here I am in Zanarkand, which will be near the end of the sort of main story before you get the airship. When you're in Zanarkand here, you'll have a little cutscene, and then you've got to make your way up the stairs and through this door. You may be familiar with this room. When you walk through this door in the main story, this is where you will have to fight Unaleska. Once you have fought Unaleska and hopefully won, you'll be tasked with leaving the room, basically. But before you leave the room, there's a set of stairs at the back here, and there's a set of stairs on the left here. Doesn't matter which one you do, go up them stairs or down them ones at the back, and it will basically teleport you back into this room. But the difference is there will be a chest at the back. Grab that chest, and in that chest will be the Sun Crest. Now I want to reiterate here, it is very important that you grab that now, because if you miss it and you've got to come back for it, you will be in a hell of a lot of trouble. Because in this room, when you come back with the airship to collect it, will be Dark Bahamut. And as you could probably expect, you will need the Sun Crest in order to power up Tidus's weapon to max in order to beat Dark Bahamut. So you're kind of in a catch-22 there. You know, you need the crest in order to beat Dark Bahamut, but you've got to beat Dark Bahamut to get the Sun Crest. So yeah, do not miss it after you beat Unalesca, please. After you grab the Sun Crest, we have to move on to the Sun Sigil. So to get the Sun Sigil, you have to go to the Calmlands. So let's get to the Calmlands. Back in the Calmlands, in order to get the Sun Sigil, what you'll need to do is the Chocobo race all over again. You may remember I did the Chocobo race before in order to get the level 3 key sphere I needed when I first got to the Calmlands during the story. And I've also done the Chocobo race when I needed the woman to move out the way to get the celestial weapons. To get the Sun Sigil, what you need to do is do the Chocobo race again, but you'll need to get a perfect time, so a score of 0.00. In order to do that, what you need to do is sort of hit 12 balloons, or collect 12 balloons, and avoid being hit at all in order to score a time of under 35 seconds, and the 12 balloons will then wipe off those 35 seconds, so you get a perfect score. For every bird that you get hit by, you'll need to collect an extra balloon. So you can afford to be hit by 1 or 2 as long as you collect like 13 or 14 balloons. But ideally, you'll get to the end with a score with a time below 35 seconds, and you'll have like 11 or 12 balloons to wipe out your time. But yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds, so tap on this woman. If you come from the airship, she will always be stood here, so it makes her easier to find. Want to ride a Chocobo, and then let me train one, and then catch a Chocobo. It's basically down to luck and how the balloons lay out, essentially, because you know, this race can take like 2 goes or it could take 100. It all comes down to luck, essentially. So I don't know how long this is going to take me. That's not a great start. You ideally want them all up on the left. I'm not going to chase those balloons off it. Crap. Really? How the hell did that one hit me? This isn't going to be the one. It's off. Could have been worse, could have been better. I mean, that'll probably be a lower score than what I had. Might knock the time down a little bit. Ideally, that's what you want. You want a 12 balloons, you can probably be afford to hit by 1 balloon. Oh, we got a new personal best. By what, like 0.4 of a second or something? Alright. One more time. One more time. One more time. This is a bit better. Nope, that balls to that. She's going to get all the balloons and I'm just going to be left with nothing. And I'm going to get hit somehow when I was nowhere near that bird. Where this bird's supposed to be listening to me, it's not doing a very good job, is it? Alright, that was perfect. As a run, but I didn't get enough balloons because she stole them all at the start. Well, I was 3 balloons short. We're getting there, we're getting there. I don't want a turbo ether, I want the sigil. Give it to me. Come on, put them on there. Aww. But giving them all to the lady. Oh, that's 3 balloons. Oh, I missed that one. Shouldn't have hit me, but okay. How did that other one hit me, but that one didn't? Balls. That may be alright. I tried to collect as many as I could on that one. 12, no. That's going to take me down to about 6 seconds. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. It's a bit better. Let's see how this one goes. Alright, well, I've got 4 already. That should be it. That should be it. That should be it. I was less than 36 seconds and I picked up 12 balloons, 13 balloons. That's it, done it. Get in there. Thank God I didn't have to spend 2 hours doing that race. Turbo Ether. That was a perfect run. Wait, I have something special for you. Never thought I'd see the day someone would actually achieve a perfect time. Here you go. Boom. I quit. Leave me alone. There you go. That is Tidus's done. I'm going to save it now so I don't have to do all that crap again. Now that we have saved it and we're safe and we no longer have to do any more of them races, thank God, it's time to move on to the next person. And I think next I'll do Kimari. So let's go back to the airship. Kimari's is the Saturn crest and the Saturn sigil. The Saturn crest, as with all the other crests, again you can get in the story and it's nice and simple to get, nothing too taxing whatsoever. Once you are at the top of Mount Gagazet here and you kick Seymour's ass yet again, just follow on from there, come around here. It is easy to miss though, so just be careful. And then when you get to this part here with the save point and the pillars, if you look just on my left here, you can see a chest poking out right here. Open that and inside there will be the Saturn crest. So as you can see, it is easy to miss. Just make sure you grab that on the way past and then you can carry on as normal onto Mount Gagazet. Now to get at the Saturn sigil, you have to go to Macalania Woods. So let's go there. So with Kimari's challenge, you may remember this guy with the weird harp thing on his arm here. When we first arrived in Macalania, given the weird speech he gave about butterflies, can't remember exactly what he said, something along the lines of rainbow butterfly, blah 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 blah. But you can see this butterfly like right to my side here, flicking colours between green, blue and red and that. The whole point of Kimari's challenge is tap on that butterfly and a time limit. You go into a little weird daze, time limit will appear. You've got to run from this end to the other end of this section of the woods and collect 7 blue butterflies while avoiding the red ones, because if you touch a red one instead, it will end up summoning a monster to defend it and you'll lose a couple of seconds off your time limit. Now you've got to collect all 7 before the time limit runs out. So essentially if you touch a red one and you end up engaging a battle, you're better off just giving up and leaving the area and coming back and trying again. The hardest part, the challenge itself is not that hard. The hardest part of it is judging where the butterflies are because you can't quite tell. So you got to be very careful with that. Also, one of the most important things to note here is once you've touched the 7th butterfly, if you complete it, stop moving straight away, because bit of a dick move there. What they've done is stuck the last butterfly essentially at the very end of the area. So if you collect that butterfly and then end up walking out of the area, it won't count. So you've got to come back in and do it again. I've done it a couple of times. It's really annoying, especially like this section is a little bit more forgiving, whereas the next section, which I saved till last, is very, very hard. So let's give it a go and see how we get on. But you'll see what I mean. See, it's very hard to judge where the butterflies are. 2. 3. 4. 5. This bit's the hardest part of this one. 6. 7. There you go. See, notice how there I stopped. If you look at the little green square where I am, if I'd have walked a tiny bit further, then this whole thing would have been basically invalid and I would have had to do it all again. But as a first section, that was pretty good. The hardest part is this bit here, but what you got to do is you got to come up this bit and then hug the back wall and follow it around, and you'll avoid all the red butterflies. Although it looks like they will touch you, they won't. And there's a butterfly right where I'm stood that you may not see, because I didn't even see it. And then, yeah, that's the easiest round, that bit. Well, that's the first part of the challenge done. Now we got to work on the second part. All the same rules apply. Make sure you don't wander off the thing. This one is a less forgiving, so you got to make sure you're very, very careful with it. Once we get this section away, that will be Kimari's done, and then we can do Riku's, which is a little bit easier. One of the less pain in the ass ones to do. Let's go back to this. No, we gotta go back to the other section. So for the second section of Kimari's, you'll have to come in from the Macalana area. So you'll notice that's where you fight Spherimorph here off to the right. Straight onwards is Lake Macalania. Come in from that entrance. And then, yeah, the butterfly is just down here. So you got to tap on that now. Important thing. With this one, they try to trick you right from the very start. Because once you tap on the butterfly, a blue butterfly actually appears behind you. So you have to kind of run back on yourself to get that one to then come forward. Because you, unlike the other one, you can't just tap it and then carry on running. Otherwise you will end up missing a butterfly. And you'll be like, oh, why ain't I doing it? Why ain't I doing it? I'm tapping them all. So, yeah, make sure you run back here. Oh, ignore that. There's a red one straight away. I didn't even see that one. He hadn't even loaded in yet, and I still tapped it.
That's how it's done.
But this, yeah, we'll use this as a demonstration. So, yeah, as you can see, he's appeared right at the back here. You gotta make sure you get that one. But as I tap the red one, I'm going to have to go back and try again. And this time we'll make sure we avoid that little hump there. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. So yeah, run back. How is there one there as well? Right, let's do this. A game. A game, boys. This challenge would be a bit easier if you didn't have to run back here at the start, but... I didn't even touch nothing. There was nothing there.
Farewell. That's how it's done.
Oh, look at that. Like a ninja, mate. He was at the back when he that one. Oh, crap. That would have been good. I was on ball. I was on... Ah, kind of, maybe. I might have just missed it by a couple of milliseconds, but definitely messed it up now. I think maximum you can have like one touch.
That's how it's done.
Ideally, you don't want any. Oh, I might do it. I might do it. Oh, I did it! Oh, sweet! Again, point here and make sure you do not run off the screen, otherwise completely irrelevant and you'll have to do it all again. But I somehow managed to do it and I touched 2 butterflies. And there you go. We have now had the Saturn sigil. I'm actually surprised as hell that I did that. But I don't care. Sloppy as balls, but a win's a win. I'm taking it. It went a lot better than I expected. And that's Kimari's done. So now we're on to Riku's. Riku's is the Mercury Crest and Sigil. Thankfully they could both be found in the same place, which is the Beacon Isle Desert. So as you can see where I am here, in the last section of the desert, where just before you get to home, and you have to start fighting the plants that are in the holes there. If you look on the mini map here on the left, you will see a little offshoot, so make your way into there. And you'll see a hole in the floor with a chest. There's not a plant in this one, but in that chest is where you will find the Mercury Crest. It is one of the ones you come back and get if you missed it on your first time around, because there is no dark ions in the way. However, if you are not careful and you wander too far at the back, you will see a person there, and if you get too close to that person, then they will summon Dark Ifrit. But you have to wander very, very, very close to them in order to initiate that sort of thing. So you should be able to pick up the crest if you missed it without having any issues on that. As for the sigil, if you come over here to the right, you'll see a cactus stone. Here he is. Yeah, this little cactus stone here. You gotta click on it. There's something written in stone. Song of the Gatekeeper. 10 little gatekeepers playing in the sand. Tommy's gone to fetch water. Be back soon. Village of the Cactuars. Using spheres to control the sands, the Cactuars defend their village. They are the gatekeepers. Present all 10 of their spheres, they will bear to the stone altar, and the way to the village will open. So what this essentially tells you is there's 10 little Cactuars that you got to find. You got to find one after the other. So you got to find one. You got to do like a weird little battle thing with it. And then once you either lose, or it doesn't matter whether you lose or win against that Cactuar, you still get what you need to open the way. The only thing it will affect is the reward, essentially. So you still get the Mercury Sigil either way, because it's in one of those chests just behind my shoulder there, as you can see. But the reward for the minigame, the more spheres you get, Cactuar spheres you get, the better the reward for just playing the minigame. But yeah, as I said, either way it makes no difference. So you gotta solve the riddle. So I said Tommy has gone to find water. Only place in the desert where there's water is the oasis where you start. So we gotta make our way back there. Most of them are fairly, let's say there's 10, most of them are fairly easy to find. There may be 1 or 2 that are annoying. And I'm going to do my best to try and complete these mini games, but the last couple are very hard. I think the best I've ever done is 8 of them. Probably the quickest way to do this is to board the airship and then...
Yeah! Here we go!
And there you go. See the little cactuar there on the right hand side? Go tap on him. Tommy, fetching water takes his time and as a result is often left behind. A little dim. Where the gatekeeper won. It may look like fun and games, but the gatekeepers are preyed race of warriors. While they dislike combat, they will turn and face an enemy that takes their back. Should you fail to sneak up on them, they will realize they have overestimated their enemy and depart in disgust. Sneak up on the cactuars when their backs are turned to confront them is better the way, believe me. So you got 10 seconds. Got 10 seconds to get from where you are now to the cactuar like I have there. But every time it says needle time, you have to stop. Otherwise he will run away, as he said, in disgust. And then you got to battle it. Once you beat it, you get the sphere, like I have there. Fail to catch gatekeeper unaware and you'll obtain the sphere del Per d'Or, the best gatekeeper, and obtain his personalized sphere. Collect lots of spheres to receive an award at the village. So there you go. So because I beat that one, I get a nice shiny green sphere. If I'd have failed, I think you get 3 attempts. If I'd have failed all 3, I would have got the sphere del Per, whatever it is. And I wouldn't have got as good a reward. Now we've got to run all the way back to that thing, plop it in that cactuar thing, and then do nine more of those. Yeah, see while I'm running back here, see if I can quickly find out what the rewards are. Back at the cactuar stone, just pop it in. And that's 1 done. Writing appears when the sphere is set in the stone. 9 little gatekeepers play in the sand. Riveria's gone walkabouts. Rovivis? I don't really know how you pronounce that. Be back soon. So, we are basically have to run around the desert now and find Rovivi or whatever his name is. Now, I'm pretty sure he's in one of the first 2 starting areas, off in a little offshoot. So we come back this area, and this is why having no encounters is so handy, because you can just run around in peace. Yeah, it's this one here, and then it's down in this little offshoot here, I believe that is. Oh yeah, there he is. Or her, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Wait, come back. Has no patience for certain dim-witted friends. Not talking about Rome or whatever his name is. Not a progressive thinker. 13 seconds to do this one. Yeah. Nice and simple. Chop. Nice and easy. I got that cactuar sphere. Now we got to run back to the cactuar stone and plop it in there yet again. Now this place should look familiar to you. Just run up to it and pop the stone in there. Writing appears 8 little gatekeepers playing on. Little Chava likes big numbers. Be back soon. This isn't much of a clue as to where that person is, but pretty sure. Yeah, one of these signs has a discount thing on it, like 20% off or something. Beware of sandstorms. It might be this one now. It says 20% off or something like that, and he's hiding behind it. Yeah, 20% off all big travel. Yeah, looks like an old advertisement. Yeah, there he is. Recently learned to count to 50. A little needy, attention deficit. 13 seconds again this time. As you can imagine, the first few are nice and easy, but they do get harder and harder as you go on. And there you go, there's another one down. Luckily we don't have to run that far this time. And we'll pop this one in. Writing appears. 7 play in the sand. Alex and Aloja play tag in the ruins of men. Be back soon. So you get to get 2 here. Now these 2 are, as you can probably tell by they say ruins of men, these 2 are in the area with the strong fiends in them. If you remember in this Sanubia Desert Central area, it says strong fiends to the left, weak fiends to the right. Obviously go to the left, and they should be there. Plus we get the bonus of tagging 2 at once here. I am, however, going to pop in a save while I'm running past. Yep, there they are. A big one and a small one. Two brothers, rarely separate, they move as one, their closeness, a paragon of brotherhood. Yay! Orin, you missed. You're terrible.
Take that.
Doesn't matter. Walker and Titus will sort it out. Detector and Seeker's Ring. Now we've got their sphere. We might as well go this way. That leaves 5 left. Thankfully, again, we don't have to run that far. I think they're all in the desert as well, except the one of them. One of them is on the airship. I think that might be the last one. Writing appears. 5 play in the sand. Seeks the shining blue. So shining blue should give you a bit of a clue as to where this next one might be. Obviously shining blue being a save sphere. So you have to run around the desert now examining all the save spheres, and he should appear. I think off the top of my head it is the save sphere that Walker is sat next to. When you first enter the desert and you find Walker, he sat under a little hut with a sage here next to him. So yeah, this one here, I can't remember whether, I think either Waka or Riku, one of them is sat underneath here. So, tap on the save sphere. And he should appear. Loves new things, hard on others, easy on self, stingy. Seems like a lot of people out now. And we got 14 seconds to do this one. Oh, he had a quick turnaround time on that one. Well, that's another one done and dusted. Getting some nice sphere levels doing this. Vachella's sphere. Alright, back to the Cactuar Stone. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider watching some of my other videos. Maybe smashing that like button or dropping a sub. You don't have to, of course. It's entirely up to you. Like I said, it just helps me out and helps my channel grow. Most of all, though, a massive thank you to those of you who are watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.